Okay, GTII, there could be a very unique opportunity here, and I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about it. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTII technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this happy Friday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so usually, when I search for stocks, a scan for them. I have a particular method to scan for opportunities, to trade the next day or during the week, right? So usually those opportunities are involving stochastic momentum, particularly to the downside on the shorter time frames, like 30-minute and the hourly. Now, as it jumps into the bi-hourly, I would like for there to start being some type of correction here from the stochastics, right? And also into the 4-hour, I would definitely like a further correction to the upside of stochastics, and then hopefully the 6-hour has a little bit of a read on that, negative on the 8-hour, and then also downside to the 12-hour in bi-daily. Okay, so the reason why I do that is because I like to kind of see the opportunity to kind of get into the trade first, right? So that I can then ride the wave to the upside upon that correction. Okay, so it's something this was actually something that I just put up yesterday on the Discord, right? So this was we were over here, right? And then I said, we could enter in this position here. So I posted the image before today, whatever, right? I missed the entry by a cent. It's all good, but the price action eventually went parabolic, right? So that same criteria is what I am seeing here in GTII now. And this is kind of why I want to share it with you. So we have the downside on the hourly, right? So now as we jump into the bi-hourly, yeah, we still have that downside, right? But to notice here, the fact that we are at support from the reversion variant. This is my algo, right? So we got that sell signal, definitely came right back down to that 111 area, right? And we're using that mean as a bounce, right? So 111 was that bounce. We got an upside from it. It's still suggesting a downside though, but if you can see here, this hourly wave to the upside ended up affecting this bi-hourly wave to the upside. And now as you move up in time frames, you'll likely see that there's no more downside. The 4 hours right here. Okay, so now we're starting to get that move that I'm talking to you about, right? So we get that ebb and flow, we get that wave. We want to ride the waves, right? So this is the 4 hour, and now look at the 6 hour, just slightly lower, right? With an upside pivot, even still 8 hour upside pivot. So all of the waves are being affected one time frame at a time, right? So that's that domino effect that I speak to about often. Right, so we're now getting it on the 12-hour. Okay, now the daily should probably be either corrective or, well, man, even still to the upside. Jeez. Okay, so okay, bi-daily also kind of has an upside. Not bad. Oh, damn. Okay, so 3-day all the way to the 3-day. So this is what I'm seeing here is that starting from the 4-hour, there is kind of an upside to look out for, which is very, very interesting, right? So this criteria that I'm talking about is really something that I look for day trades. But in this case, since we have correcting moves all the way up to the 3-day, this could very likely be one of those choppy things onwards and upwards, right? So I don't know. We just have it here. We just have the opportunity present, and I'm really liking the pivot on that stochastic momentum starting from the 4-hour and then bleeding into the 6, the 8, the 12, even into the daily, right? And bi-daily and 3 days. So that is very curious to me. So now let's go ahead and touch down on a few other things because I really would like to share with you what I'm kind of seeing. Okay, so first of all, this is going to be a short chart, right? So this is just the bi-daily Gaussian channel. We're still within the Gaussian channel top side, right? So I'm sorry, the inside of the channel itself, which is great, right? So now this isn't suggesting it, but it is telling us that the mean is located at 175, that mean band right at the middle, right? So that's a very good thing. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, so now Once again, we're still within that falling wedge on the bi-daily chart, right? So we actually came back down. We validated that support touch of the bottom side of the wedge and continued on to the upside, right? So we're still fairly up. Yesterday, we definitely got a pretty nice move to the upside, but it's okay. Usually when we have parabolic moves to the upside like that, we need to come back and validate supports before continuing on, right? So supports relevant to that high. So we would come back, validate those current highs, and then we can actually continue to the upside, right? So let's move on to the next chart. And just to remind everybody, right? So this is still that ascending triangle that I'm looking at, right? So this would be a bullish formation, right? So usually when you form these triangles during an uptrend, they instantly become a continuation formation for the price action to continue to the upside, right? So, and now here is what I really wanted to kind of touch down on. The RSI, right? So, of course, we have some natural little ups and downs here on the 30-minute immediate short term. Now, as you go into the hourly, of course, we already saw with stochastics on the bi-hourly and the hourly that we have a downside pivot. Okay, good. But as we start approaching the bi-hourly, we're actually seeing that we're close to support and also within the gravitational zone. So 14-day simple moving average represented by the pink line, and the purple line is your RSI signal itself. When you are within the gravitational zone, which is 2% up or down the borders, that usually can serve as a point of support as well, right? So another thing to see here, this is the 4-hour time frame suggesting a very short-term support from that 14-day simple as well. Notice the 6-hour as well. We also have that support right down there. And this is very curious too, because we're within the gravitational zone here. So if we were to face that downside and touch down on that 14-day simple, definitely we have support from the 14-day simple moving average and the gravitational zone. And also here on the 8-hour, we still have that 14-day simple right below us with a slight downside pivot, even into the 12-hour and the daily. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking at here, you guys. There could be a very short-term time frame downside to look at, which is really, honestly, is really typical to what's been kind of what's been going on, right? So now let's just look at some other time frames to see if we have that potential support somewhere for us, right? So yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, of course, the hourly and the bi-hourly, since it's the first one that was actually shown to us, right in this chart here, you can see that the bi-hourly was the first one to show us that potential support, right? So because this one's already failing to the downside. So the bi-hourly and the 4-hour. So now let's go back to that chart and see what that could be for us. Okay, so the mean band of the reversion variant is located at about 110. Okay, so that one, I think I said 111 earlier, right? So no, this is 110. My apologies. So 110 could be that reversion point, right? There's no telling if it's going to actually wick down first and then continue on to the upside, right? So as you can see, that we can easily penetrate through the Bollinger Bands. That's entirely okay. All right. So, but yeah, it's just what I am looking for is essentially that loading zone before the continuation to the upside, right? So if I were to just put a discretionary guess over here just to see what that downside could be, then we could honestly see 110. And let me just zoom out just a little bit here just so I can see any relevant touches of the support candles, right? So it would be, you know what? Yeah, actually, this would be not bad. 110 to about 106 could be that bottom side support before we can use it as a bounce and continue on to the upside. But yeah, keep an eye on that 4-hour stochastic, right? Stochastic momentum on the 4-hour suggesting upside even into the 6, into the 8, into the 12, into the daily and on, right? So this is looking pretty good for GTII, and I'm actually pretty excited for it, okay, you guys? So please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell or actually hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool, okay, you guys? But, oh yeah, and we have a little bit of resistance at about that 137, right? Before we can actually come back down, test the current highs of about 125, and then continuing on to the upside, eventually looking at about 164, right, you guys? So 164 to 175 would be my top side over a few days. Okay, you guys. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on. Actually, I'm not even sure if the market's going to be open on Monday. I'll go ahead and update everybody on that, but I'll catch you at the bell at the next trading session. See you guys. Adios.